Hey everyone, so you're planning a trip to the Philippines? That's awesome. The Philippines is one of the most beautiful places in the world. With its crystal clear beaches, bustling cities, and friendly locals, there's so much to look forward to. In this video, I'll be breaking down exactly how to plan it. From finding flights, booking the best Airbnb, to a few personal tips that I've picked up along the way. So let's get into it and make sure you're ready for an epic adventure. All right, let's start with timing. The Philippines has a tropical climate, which means you'll want to time your trip to avoid the rainy season if you're after sunny beach days. The rainy season typically runs from June to October. So unless you love a little rain and mud, maybe skip those months. The dry season from November to April is ideal for great weather, especially if you're planning on doing a lot of outdoor activities like island hopping or hiking. But here's a cool insider tip. December through February is peak season, which means higher prices and bigger crowds, especially in popular spots like Boracay and El Nido. But if you aim for early November or late April, you can usually find that balance between good weather and fewer tourists. Personally, I love early November because it's still affordable and you get all the perks of the dry season without the peak season crowds. It's a nice time to visit if you're looking to really relax and take in the beauty of the islands without a ton of people around. All right, now on to flights. Finding affordable flights can really make or break your travel budget, and thankfully there are a few tricks I use to save on flights. First up, Google Flights. I recommend starting there because it gives a really clear view of prices across airlines, and it has this Explore tool that lets you see the cheapest dates to fly to the Philippines. You can literally just type in your departure city and your destination, and it will pull up a calendar of prices so you can choose dates that work best for your budget. Another site I swear by is Skyscanner, which is really good for comparing deals from different airlines, and they sometimes pull up deals that Google Flights doesn't. Then there's Momondo. I like it because it has a cool feature that shows you price trends and lets you know if now is a good time to buy or if you might want to wait. And one more tip here, if you can be flexible with your dates, even by just a day or two, it can sometimes save you a lot. I once saved over $100 just by leaving a day earlier than I originally planned. Also, if you have a travel credit card with points or miles, check if you can redeem them for flights. This could be a perfect way to save money, especially on long-haul flights to the Philippines. Now let's talk about accommodation. For a trip to the Philippines, Airbnb is such a great option. Unlike hotels, which can sometimes feel a bit generic, Airbnb gives you tons of unique places to choose from. And many of them are condos or apartments where you get your own kitchen, living room, and a local vibe. When searching for Airbnbs, I usually start by typing in the area, like Manila, Cebu, or Palawan. Then I set my budget and start filtering for must-have amenities. For me, air conditioning is a must in the Philippines because the heat can be intense, especially if you're there during the warmer months. I also look for Wi-Fi, especially if I'm working remotely, and sometimes a pool if I'm planning a relaxing stay. Oh, and don't forget to check for super hosts. These are hosts with consistently high ratings, which is a great way to ensure you're getting good service. I also recommend reading reviews carefully. People usually mention things like noise levels, the cleanliness, and whether the host was helpful with tips on local spots. Those little details can really make a difference. Location is a huge factor in the Philippines, especially in the bigger cities like Manila. Manila can be a bit overwhelming, so choosing the right neighborhood is key. If you're into nightlife and want to be near restaurants and shops, I recommend Makati. It's kind of the trendy cosmopolitan area with a lot going on, but if you're looking for a more laid back local vibe, check out Quezon City. It's got a good balance of local life with nice cafes and restaurants. If you're in Cebu, staying close to the beach or near restaurants is ideal, especially if you're planning to spend a lot of time by the water. And in places like Palawan, it's all about those beachfront locations. Just imagine waking up and stepping right onto the sand. Reading reviews on Airbnb can give you an idea of what's nearby and whether the location is safe and convenient for tourists. So definitely take a few minutes to do that. All right, let's talk about saving money on food and transportation. When it comes to food, I always say eat local. The street food scene in the Philippines is amazing and it's super affordable. You can get popular dishes like adobo, sisig, or pancit, which is like a noodle dish for just a few bucks. It's a great way to try authentic Filipino food and save money too. For getting around, the best way is Grab. It's basically like Uber and super easy to use. If you're in a bigger city like Manila, Cebu, or Davao, Grab is affordable and way more convenient than flagging down a taxi. But if you're exploring smaller islands or more remote areas, you might be looking at renting a scooter or taking local jeepneys, which are these colorful buses that are super cheap and really popular with locals. Finally, let's talk packing. My advice here is to pack light but smart. You'll want essentials like sunscreen, insect repellent, and maybe a lightweight rain jacket, especially if you're visiting during the transitional months between rainy and dry seasons. If you're planning on island hopping, a waterproof bag is a lifesaver. You'll also want to bring enough cash because some smaller islands and local shops don't take credit cards. A tip here, you can withdraw pesos at ATMs in the Philippines, but make sure to let your bank know you're traveling so you don't get hit with any fees. And there you have it. With these tips, you're all set to plan an amazing trip to the Philippines. Flights, Airbnb hacks, and a few insider tips to make it all go smoothly. I hope this helps make your planning easy and gets you even more excited for your trip. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you have any questions or tips of your own. Enjoy your adventure in the Philippines. You're going to love it.